Is this mid-range $400 robotic pool cleaner from WYBOT worth it? Hey guys, I realized from my last pool cleaning video that we really should talk more about budget-friendly automatic pool cleaners. Yes, there are some on the market that are thousands of dollars, but how well does a $400 price range pool cleaner actually do? We all know that the struggle is real. Skimming leaves, wrestling with a vacuum hose, it eats up your time and leaves you exhausted. At least it does for me, and that's why I rely on automatic pool cleaners for my swimming pool. Robotic pool cleaners are a game changer, and the WYBOT C1 just entered the scene, promising a sparkling clean pool at a great price. But does it really live up to the hype? Now, I've had this pool cleaner for a few weeks now, and I've been putting it through the paces in my swimming pool here. We do have a lot of debris that falls from the trees around the pool, and the bottom is constantly getting dirty, so having a robot pool cleaner is a must for my situation if I want my pool to look clean. The C1 packs a punch with a strong filtration system that gobbles up dirt, leaves, and whatever else decides to take a dip in your pool. It's like a little underwater vacuum cleaner, sucking up 2,642 gallons of water per hour. Now that is a lot of pool water, by the way. It also has these awesome grippy brushes that scrubs the floors, walls, and even the water line. This little guy isn't just strong, it's also pretty smart. Sensors and a built-in gyroscope map out your entire pool so it knows exactly where to go. It doesn't just bounce around randomly. It has a cleaning plan to make sure it gets everywhere, and it's sure to not miss a spot. You can even set it to different modes depending on what needs the most attention. I often find myself doing full cleanings, but you can also set it to just do the walls or do the floor, or you can even say do the floors and then the walls. It really is customizable depending on what your pool actually needs cleaning. The C1 really does have your back when it comes to these various modes that you can program them into. Now, you do need to have the WYBOT C1 out of the water before you program it, but once you have it programmed through the WYBOT mobile app, it does everything for you. Getting the C1 unboxed and set up and ready to go was one of the simplest I've ever done. It was really easy to get it ready to go and plug it in to get its first full charge. The instructions were very clear, and I had it up and running in about 10 minutes. At first, I was a little bit worried about it navigating my weird shaped pool. It's a kidney bean, but I've had some pool cleaners that really struggle with identifying this specific. So I was actually quite impressed that the C1 sensors, especially at this price point, kicked in and it cleaned the whole thing, including all of the curvy sections. Plus, it runs for up to 150 minutes on a single charge, which is plenty for most pools. My pool is actually 30 by 16 feet, so it's definitely not on the small side, but it's not gigantic either. You can also set in the mobile app what shape your pool best fits into to help the C1 really understand and learn your pool for a more efficient clean, because it can do rectangular shapes and other freeform shapes as well. Also, when you need to recharge it, it only takes about 3 hours to get a full charge and you're back in business if you want to do some additional cleaning. As for charging, I did find it interesting that there is a waterproof plug right here on the top. You simply unscrew that and then you plug in the cable cord and you're charging. Just make sure you always screw this back down tight, because that's electrical port and you don't want water getting into that. It does make it pretty simple and easy, and it's kind of peace of mind that there's a nice sealed screw cap on top of there. Now, while the WYBOT app isn't as in-depth for this specific model, I did find it to be very adequate for doing the basic cleaning functions. Yes, there are other models out there that have a lot more in-depth information on the pool cleaning app, but for the most part, I kind of just program it for my pool, let it run and do its thing. I also found it very straightforward and easy to clean the filter inside of the C1 when it finishes its pool cleaning cycle. It even catches all of the finer sand material from my sand filter. Yes, if you have a sand filter, you probably didn't know this, but a lot of sand does filter into your pool itself. And let me show you this right here, because you can probably see on there a lot of the sand debris that it picked up. So it has this really nice fine mesh screen there that really catches all those little particles along with all of the big ones. I'm always impressed at how clean and sparkly my pool looks after the C1 has finished its job. It does a really thorough job for the price point. You can definitely get a lot more advanced and a lot more high tech in terms of the cleaning paths and everything but this will actually still do a nice S pattern on the floor and a simulated N pattern on the walls. So if you're looking for that pool cleaner that's going to pick up all the little leaves and debris and grass and even sand out of the bottom of your pool, the C1 is a great choice in my opinion. I also don't mind just throwing it in the pool while we're out here chilling and lounging around the pool because it's super quiet inside of the water and there's no pesky hoses floating around the top of your pool, so it's really not an eyesore either. I've certainly tested out similar robot pool cleaners that have similar features and some that even have some more advanced features. But if you're looking for a really good automatic robot pool cleaner that is in that $400 price point, which in my opinion makes it super affordable for everybody, this would be the one for you, especially if you don't have a suction side port, which a lot of older pools just don't have. This kind of cordless automatic pool cleaner is really going to be your best option. It's as easy as just going over to the pool, turning it on, and setting it in the water. It has a water sensor inside that's going to activate the motors and it will do everything for you. You don't have to sit and monitor it, and it will just run. When it's done, it will float up to the surface, letting you know it's done, and then you can grab it from there. If you're not around when it's done, no problem. It'll just sit quietly at the bottom of your pool, waiting for you to come with the included hook to be able to pull it up and out of the water. So while you could spend a little bit more money on an automatic pool cleaner like the WYBOT AquaSense, which I just recently reviewed, and they might have some of those extra fancy features inside of their mobile app, you will pay a little bit extra for those features, and maybe those aren't important to you. The WYBOT is a better choice, in my opinion, if you're wanting to stay down in that sub $400 price range. Because the WYBOT C1 will give you a sparkling clean pool and save you time and frustration. Seriously, think about how much time you spend cleaning your pool when you could just have a robot cleaning it. You've got an EcoVac or a Dream or a Roborox vacuum cleaner for inside your house. Why don't you have one for your swimming pool? And if you're paying for a pool cleaner to come out and clean your pool, well, that's a no-brainer right there, and it will pay you back very, very fast. I definitely recommend the WYBOT C1.